So this is our week 3 spiritual component concept. It's called trust. I first off want to start off with a quick story. It's an easy way for me to segue into this concept. But when I was first getting sober, obviously like many people, my wife didn't trust me. She wasn't attracted to me. If you think about it, for years I had been taking opiates and pills and just basically hiding out on the couch, and she's over here running my family and taking care of everything, and then I'm just kind of this numb person, basically on pause. My life just went on pause. Someone hit the pause button on my life, and I'm just sitting there. And so when I got it all out of my system and I started getting sober, and I hadn't even realized this, and I got sober, she didn't treat me, there was little respect, and it bothered me. I remember thinking to myself, like, why doesn't she trust me? Why doesn't she respect me? So I started working hard, right, on my recovery, okay? I was seeing a therapist twice a week. I was training in a gym. CrossFit had just come onto the scene. I was training in the gym. I was paying attention to my nutrition. I was going to 2 or 3 meetings a week. And I found my higher power. And I was doing all these things, and I was working hard on this process. I cared about the process, okay? And my wife, over a year's time of this, our whole relationship changed to where all of a sudden she really respected me. Okay, and everything. So where I want to go with this, with trust, is I want to talk about this triangle of trust: caring, consistency, and competency. So everything here that we're trying to do with our students and our clients in the program is, we're trying to help them build their life on a foundation of health. Our belief is that if they build their life on this foundation of health, that that whatever storm attacks them, and they've got that life built on it, they're going to be able to handle it, okay? Well, the first thing to build our life on a foundation of trust is we have to care about the process. The student has to care. They have to care about everything. They got to care about their recovery. They got to care about going to meetings. They got to care about, training in the gym. They got to care about their nutrition. They got to show caring, and which in turn tells you as the coach that they trust in what you're laying down, right? And they got to believe you, right? That the client has to believe that you care about them as well, that you care about their progress on this system. And if you don't care, and they see that you don't care, they're not going to care as much. But if you care too much and they don't care, that doesn't work either, right? So both client and coach have to care about this process to help them build this life on a foundation of health, okay? And that's what's happened in my life. I have cared to get better. You see it all the time. I can tell anyone who comes in that I'm going to get ready to work with, like, if they care and they're ready, like, it's going to be this awesome system, because now you as a coach just has to care, and you can show them this way of life, and they're going to jump on it, okay? So now we go down to this one, consistency. Okay, obviously this consistency ties in with diligence. Okay, showing a consistency to the process, and that goes for the coach as well. You as the coach have to show a consistency. How often are you working with them? Are you being consistent and showing up on time and being consistent in your effort? And likewise, the student has to show a consistent effort to you, so that you both can move towards your goal of building your life on a foundation of health, building their life on a foundation of health. Okay, and then this one over here is competency. Okay, so you as a coach have to develop a competency, right? And this takes time. This takes practice and working with people and failing working with people. In the gym, if you're first starting to work with somebody, your competency is going to be down, but it's going to probably be a higher competency than your student, right? And always be coachable. Realize, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I have no idea about most things, but I am a student, right? I'll always be a student, and I'm always growing in my competency. And that's what it's going to take to become a good coach for you. Is your competency level is going to go up the more people you work with, find out where you didn't do a good job and make adjustments, and then learn from those mistakes and failures and grow, and your competency will come up. And the people you work with will realize that, and they'll see that you are competent to work with them. Now, on the other side, with the student's competency and confidence is going to come up as well. You show them this way of life, because if you think our model here at SOAR is student to coach. Okay, everyone that I work with, every student that I work with, selfishly I think, man, they could be a good coach. Man, this person could lead a lot of people to change. And so I want, in my mind, I want them to develop competency, and they're going to develop competency when they build that life on a foundation of health. They'll become competent. People in their family will say, dude, I want what you got. What are you doing? You have brightened up. Their peers out in the world are going to say, what are you doing? How have you brightened up? And then they're going to be in a position to say, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm living. And there starts their coaching career inside their family with their peers, because people are going to see when they built this life on a foundation of health that they are competent. And man, I want that. And the foundation of health, if you think about it, is for anybody. Substance abusers or not, anybody wants a foundation of health to stand on so that they can compete with sadness and stress. And when adversity strikes, we can't escape adversity in this life. Nobody can. And so that's really what we're doing with people. We're going to teach, we want our clients and our students to be from the student to coach model to gain that competency. And you as a coach will gain competency the more you work. Caring about the process, both student and coach care about the process together. It won't work if the student cares more than the coach, and vice versa. Consistency, both have to show consistency. You got to show consistency. You got to show up for the client. They got to show up for you. And then developing a competency, both of you will develop a competency. Your competency will continue to grow as you work with people, and the client will move their way into. So that's the triangle of trust. The last thing I want to talk about is forgiveness. We talk about forgiveness in this chapter. And it's going in a little bit of direction, but what I want to say is hate is never to be trusted. Okay? Your client, with the resentments and the fears and the madness in their brain and the negativity, if they cannot forgive, if you cannot help them forgive themselves and forgive others and get rid of these resentments, it will block them from building their lives on a foundation of health, and it will be hard for them to make progress. I found that to be the mind stuff, where we're resentful, I'm mad at people, I have these harms that I haven't fixed, and this all ties in with the steps that we're going to talk about further. But I wanted to talk about this in this week with trust, because hate is never to be trusted. Forgiving ourselves, forgiving other people, and competing with those resentments so that we don't be blocked from our progress towards our foundation of health. And that, as a coach, you are going to have to be a life coach. That's what this is. You are a life coach. And most of your greatest work is going to happen with helping people with their resentments and forgiving themselves and forgiving other people. And so that's the big term I want to use in here. Hate is never to be trusted. We cannot trust hateful feelings, and we cannot make progress towards our foundation of health.